This is Alexia Tsotsis with TechCrunch TV, and I am here with Shelly Roche, and she is a TechCrunch Disrupt Hackathon alumnus and also the founder of Wordchuck. What does Wordchuck do? I've asked you this 1,000 times, and that's why I brought you into the studio so you could tell us. What does Wordchuck do?
Right. Well, essentially, Wordchuck makes it easy to internationalize your website. So basically, if you have a website and you want to offer it in like English and Japanese and Spanish and other languages, there's a whole process you have to go through, and it's really manual and tedious, and you have to pay your developers a lot of money to do this for you. So what Wordchuck does is automate a lot of the manual stuff, and then we make it really easy to get human translations from a variety of sources.
So who else is in this space?
Well, there are a couple of companies. MyGingo is one of them that they focus on human translations, and people like 1 Hour Translations also focus on the human translation piece. But where Wordchuck is different is we're also focusing on the technology implementation piece so that it's a lot easier for the developers, in addition to doing really nice human translations.
So what are the challenges of doing this, and how are you making it easier for the developer? I mean, it's such an arcane thing for a consumer to understand, right?
Right.
So how are you making it easier for the developers?
So for one thing, so I'm a developer, and I hate copying and pasting. So, the thing that really sparked the whole idea was having to sit there and like copy and paste and internationalize a project I was working on. And it just seemed like there had to be a better way. And internationalization is a pretty complicated concept, and it's, kind of daunting to think about diverting your resources and your developers to actually go through the process. So I've looked at a few ways to kind of automate, so you don't have to do the copying and pasting. You don't have to pay your developers to sit there and do this boring stuff that makes them cranky. And so that's one way that it kind of saves you time and money. And then on the other side, a lot of people forget that once you actually get your website translated and internationalize it and put it out there, you then have to maintain it, because you're always changing content and adding pages and that sort of thing. So the next kind of really painful part is managing your content and your translations as your site grows. So like every time you get a new page up and you have to translate all that content, then your developer would have to go through and get the translations and like wait for emails and pull all the information together and then do the copying and pasting. So all of that goes away with Wordchuck, which I use it. It's made me really happy. Makes other people happy. So
yeah. So what you've got French and you've got Spanish.
I actually have more than 20 languages.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been some time since Disrupt.
Yeah.
Okay. So what languages do you have? What are the biggies?
Oh wow. So let's see. There's French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, Hindi, Japanese, Chinese. Pretty much all of the main languages, and then a handful of less popular language, Russian, just pretty much anything you need is there.
So let's say you're a publisher and you've got content that you want translated. You go into Wordchuck and you apply for a translator.
Well, so there are a couple of ways you can do that. You go, there's a web-based kind of content management system tool. And so you create your project there. And then from there, you can invite your own translators. So if you have a community, you can go out and ask for volunteers, and then they'll come in and translate for you. Or you can get machine translations for free, and that happens right away. Or you can integrate with our professional translators, which aggregates a number of human translation sources. So you have kind of 3 different options for getting your translations, and most of the Wordchuck customers use a combination of those 3.
Is your business model a freemium, or do better translations get?
Right. So there's a free trial, and then it's a subscription-based plan. So you pay monthly to access the content management system and the API. And then you there's also a fee if you want the professional translations, just because I have to pay the fee too. So.
So who are your clients? It's been a couple of months.
Right. So we're doing pretty well. Recurly, you've probably heard of. They do subscription billing. They're one of the more recent customers. And one of the things that they told me after they went through the process was their time to get people through their payment process on their end had gone down dramatically, because obviously now they can read it in their own language, and it just makes a lot more sense. So they're seeing a number of benefits to it. I have a lot of people in France for some reason, and just small developers checking it out all over the place. So,
well, I mean, the biggest untapped market for internet users is off North America, so I could see this growing exponentially if you're doing it correctly. So what are other than adding another 4 billion languages, what are your future plans?
So I just hope to keep iterating and adding new features, and I'm really trying to be super responsive to what people need and what they're asking me for, and expanding so that I have better integration with the mobile marketplace and that sort of thing too. So
what would your mobile integration look like?
So that I can automatically generate like your iPhone app translation files and that sort of thing, formatted specifically for mobile.
For iPhones?
Yeah.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah.
So are you bootstrapped? I hear you live in an RV.
Yes, that is true. That is true. I have a 24-foot Class C motorhome named Hilda, and that's Wordchuck headquarters right now.
And we're talking about RV profitable.
Yeah.
So you aren't. Do you have seed funding? I'm sure after this you will. But
right, of course. No. So yeah, I've had a little bit of just angel funding, but trying to really keep it tight and really run lean.
Is it just you, or?
It's just me and the Wordchuck right now. So I've been thinking about taking on another co-founder to handle some of the biz dev and that sort of thing, so that I can focus on the coding. But I'm sure that will come at very soon.
So what happened to your Disrupt Hackathon project? If you remember, Shelly we did another video with her, and so this is a follow-up. So what happened with that?
Right, so I've actually used that on a couple of my own projects, and have helped out a couple of other people who have had this kind of missing translation issue. I haven't deployed it yet with Wordchuck, but it's something that I think could be really interesting in the future.
And right now you're in alpha, so if some huge client, if TechCrunch wants to come translate our site for Swahili, we could do it?
Yeah, I'm actually in beta, and it's going pretty well, so bring it on. I can handle it.